There are many reasons for the increasing prevalence of cancer, particularly among younger individuals. In today's discussion, we will focus on colon cancer, which is among the most severe forms of cancer, ranking third in terms of frequency and second in terms of fatality. Unfortunately, one of the significant issues associated with this disease, as with several others, is the existence of a large industry that profits from it, coupled with deceptive advertising and a plethora of information that often confuses patients and healthcare providers. Regrettably, this leads to a lack of adequate healthcare and a reduced quality of life until it is too late. What if I told you that there was a way to survive cancer? What if I said that it's not just genetic, but environmental factors that can cause cancer? What if I also said that these environmental factors can be controlled, and that they're not only reversible but can help prevent your child from developing cancer in the first place? You'd probably be skeptical. But what if I told you like this? It's true. We found a way to reverse the damage caused by cancerous cells and repair the genes they've harmed, and it's based on science and research. This is the medicine of the future. Hello and welcome to today's discussion. We're going to cover a lot of ground in this video, so let's get started. Are you aware of the signs and symptoms of colon cancer? If not, I'll help you understand what they are. In addition to that, we'll also go over some basic information about early stage and advanced stage colon cancer. Finally, we'll talk about how to detect colon cancer early, including the popular colonoscopy procedure and who should consider it. In addition to all that, we'll dive into intestinal polyps and discuss how you can prevent them from developing into cancer. Lastly, we'll wrap up with some tips on natural methods to prevent and fight colon cancer. Did you know that colon cancer can remain undetected by medical professionals for an extended period? Initially, it manifests as a small polyp that slowly grows on the intestinal wall, taking up minimal space and not causing any significant interference with the intestinal contents. During the initial phases of growth, colon cancer shows no symptoms. Consequently, individuals at a higher risk of developing this disease, particularly those over 45 or 50 years of age with first-degree relatives who have had cancer, are advised to undergo colonoscopy earlier. Through colonoscopy, healthcare providers can detect, visualize, and remove these polyps. If you're over 50 or have a family history of colon or rectal cancer, or if you've had a recent bowel movement that was unusually large or painful, it's time to get screened. Colon cancer is a common and deadly disease. About 1 in 8 Americans will develop colon cancer at some point in their lives, and the American Cancer Society estimates that more than 141,000 people will die from it this year alone. The manifestation of symptoms in colon cancer depends on various factors such as tumor size and location. Interestingly, colon cancer that develops on the right side of the intestine can remain silent for longer periods. The stool in this area is usually more liquid, which means that the intestine has not absorbed all the water that passes through it. Consequently, it becomes challenging for the tumor to obstruct the intestine, unless it has progressed to an advanced stage or has metastasized to other organs, such as the liver, bones, or lungs. Let me share with you a secret on how to detect colon cancer at an early stage. The first step is to test the stool for occult blood. You take a sample of the fecal matter, send it to a laboratory, and analyze it for the presence of hidden blood. If you have any of these warning signs, it's important to seek medical attention immediately. Additionally, colonoscopy is another method that enables early detection. However, it's essential to be vigilant of warning signs like chronic bleeding, which can lead to iron deficiency anemia. According to my university professor, if someone who is 45 or 50 years old presents with paleness and anemia caused by iron deficiency, they should be suspected of having an intestinal tumor until ruled out. Additionally, the presence of slightly intense bleeding can cause the stool to become darker. Colon cancer on the left side of the intestine causes intestinal obstruction or occlusion earlier, as the stool is already solid, and a person may experience a change in bowel habits. If someone experiences constipation, diarrhea, or thinner feces for several weeks, doctors may recommend a colonoscopy to check for intestinal tumors. The most common type of cancer that affects the colon is called advanced colorectal cancer. This kind of cancer can cause symptoms such as abdominal pain, gas, bloating, weight loss, fatigue, and chronic tiredness. It's important to detect and prevent colon cancer naturally. Polyps are typically small, benign tumors that grow on the intestinal wall and do not cause symptoms. The best way to detect and remove them is through a colonoscopy with samples sent to the lab to determine if they are benign or malignant. While the majority of these benign polyps do not develop into cancer, a small percentage may become malignant depending on a combination of genes and habits, such as eating habits. Consuming processed foods, red meat, processed meats such as sausages and ham, or raw fish, unhealthy fats, including trans fats, excessive vegetable oils, excluding olive oil, or a combination of these factors may increase your risk of developing colon cancer. The transformation of polyps into cancer is a complex process. But there are some factors that accelerate this process, including consuming ultra-processed foods, excessive intake of red meat, particularly processed varieties like sausages and ham, bad fats, and excessive intake of vegetable oils, excluding olive oil, and sodium. These factors act like fuel for tumor growth. Additionally, habits like drinking alcohol and smoking are known carcinogens. The risk of developing cancer decreases with abstaining from these practices. The first line of defense is to eat a plant-based diet rich in anti-inflammatory and antioxidant-rich foods such as fruits and vegetables of various colors. Even spices like turmeric have excellent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Healthy fats found in fish like salmon, tuna, sardines, anchovy, or in plants like chia, flaxseed, and sesame are also beneficial. Treating constipation by ingesting sufficient water and fiber not only reduces the risk of cancer but also improves our intestinal flora. Other healthy habits such as good sleep, exercise, and increasing social connections also have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Our channel has videos on each of these foods and habits. Our book even details more healthy foods for our gut, such as nuts and seeds like pumpkin or pumpkin seeds. If you have diverticuli in your intestine, or have had diverticulitis in the past, are nuts, seeds and skins prohibited? The answer is no. Despite popular belief, these foods are safe to eat. In fact, a study with over 47,000 patients concluded that consuming these foods does not increase the risk of diverticulitis or its complications. This myth has been propagated by doctors who were worried that nuts, seeds and skins could lodge in the diverticula and trigger complications, but this theory has never been proven. In fact, a study with over 47,000 patients concluded that consuming these foods did not increase the risk of diverticulitis or its complications. Therefore, patients with diverticuli should no longer be advised against consuming them. Instead, it is now known that they improve intestinal flora and improve intestinal functioning as well as preventing colon cancer. However, it should be noted that each case should be evaluated individually, so it is always recommended to consult with a medical professional if you have any intestinal problems. Colonoscopy is a medical procedure that involves inserting a long tube equipped with a camera through the anal region to examine the entire intestine for any polyps, tumors, or other abnormalities. If any polyps are detected, they are removed for laboratory analysis to determine if they are benign or malignant. The procedure is performed under sedation or light anesthesia. Colonoscopies are typically painless, and patients often do not recall much of it as it is performed under sedation or light anesthesia. It is recommended that individuals start getting colonoscopies at the age of 45 or 50, or earlier if they have a family history of cancer. This screening should be repeated every 10 years. If you're over age 50, you might want to get screened for colon cancer regularly, every 10 years, to make sure your polyps don't turn into a tumor. Colonoscopy is an important part of your healthcare routine. In rare cases, there are potential risks associated with a colonoscopy such as bleeding or injury to the intestinal wall. But these complications occur in only a small percentage of cases, around 1 or 2 out of every 1,000 procedures performed. If no abnormalities are found during the examination or prior to it, the risks of these complications are low. However, it is important to discuss any concerns or potential risks with your doctor before undergoing the procedure. I hope you enjoy it and find it useful. Please share this material with your friends and family and discuss it together. We would love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, or subscribe to our channel if you think this video was helpful. Your support helps us to keep growing and spreading awareness about important health topics. Greetings from my corner of the world. Take care and goodbye.